As a retired doctor with years of experience, I've spent a significant portion of my life helping people heal, guiding them through countless ailments, and witnessing firsthand the miracles of both modern medicine and age-old natural remedies. But there's one simple remedy that almost never gets the attention it deserves, a remedy sitting right in your kitchen, so basic, so ordinary, that it often goes unnoticed. I'm talking about baking soda. Yes, that humble white powder that most of us associate with baking cookies or cleaning up spills, yet I can't help but wonder why it's so overlooked in the realm of health. Why is it that something as inexpensive and accessible as baking soda, with the potential to transform lives, isn't talked about more? I'll tell you why: because there's no big money in simple, natural solutions. And unfortunately, the medical world thrives on complex treatments, drugs, and therapies that cost a fortune to develop and maintain. But I'm not here to sell you the latest miracle pill or an expensive product. I'm here to share something far more profound, something that has stood the test of time. You see, over the years, I've observed the struggles of millions of patients, people battling chronic conditions, sleepless nights, digestive issues, and joint pain. And many of these conditions, while devastating, could be eased by something as simple as drinking baking soda water at night. But why doesn't everyone know about it? Why isn't this common knowledge? Why isn't this piece of the puzzle passed down through generations like other natural remedies? Let me start by asking you a question. Have you ever felt that uncomfortable burn creeping up your chest at night, keeping you awake? Or perhaps you've woken up with sore, aching muscles, a result of pushing yourself a little too hard the day before. Maybe you're one of the millions suffering from poor sleep or struggling with kidney issues. It's easy to feel helpless in these situations, like you're just waiting for relief that never seems to come. But what if I told you that something as simple as drinking a glass of water with baking soda before bed could offer you real, lasting relief? You see, for years, I've been prescribing treatments, administering medications, and making recommendations. But in all my experience, I've found that the most profound, impactful remedies often come from nature itself, the simplest solutions we tend to overlook. Baking soda, in its purest form, has been quietly studied in research labs around the world for its healing properties. And the best part, it's affordable, accessible, and effective. The benefits of drinking baking soda water before bed are so numerous and varied that I'd be remiss not to share them with you today. But here's the kicker. Despite the wealth of evidence supporting its effectiveness, most people have no idea that baking soda water could help with everything from digestion to inflammation, joint pain, and even sleep disorders. Why? Because there's no profit in telling people to drink a glass of water with a spoonful of baking soda before bed. Instead, we are sold expensive medications, therapies, and treatments. So, if you're tired of being offered quick fixes that don't address the root cause of your discomfort, you're in the right place. Now, I'm not saying that baking soda is a cure-all, but it's certainly a powerful tool in your wellness arsenal. In fact, there are countless studies and scientific evidence backing its potential to improve your health. And yet, so few people know about it. But in this video, we're going to dive deep into the science-backed health benefits of drinking baking soda water at night. And trust me, some of the things you'll learn might surprise you. But here's where it gets even more interesting. At the end of this video, I'll show you exactly how to prepare baking soda water the right way, how much to take without risking your health, and how long it will take before you start seeing real benefits. So, don't just skip around or leave early. Watch till the very end, because the way you use it makes all the difference. Before we dive in, I'd like to invite you to join our growing community of health-conscious individuals. If this sounds like something you want to learn more about, don't forget to hit the subscribe button and ring the notification bell. Your support means everything to us, and it gives us the motivation to create more videos like this one. Together, we can embark on this journey of healing and discovering the simple, natural remedies that can truly make a difference in our lives. And now, as a little challenge for you before we move on to the next part of the video, I want you to think about something. Which of these do you think is more important for your health? Taking a quick fix pill when something goes wrong? Be using simple, natural remedies that support your body's healing process long-term? Drop your answers in the comments below. I'd love to see what you think, and we'll be sure to discuss it further as we dive into the details in the next part of this video. Let's get started. As a retired doctor, I've seen my fair share of patients struggling with various health issues, some of which could have been alleviated with simple, natural remedies that most people overlook. When I first encountered baking soda's surprising ability to improve health, I couldn't help but marvel at how something so basic could have such profound effects on the body. It is a humble compound, but the more I studied it and the more I observed its potential, the more I realized just how powerful it really is, particularly when used at night. It's easy to dismiss baking soda as a mere household item, something used to bake cakes or clean stubborn stains. But, as I've discovered throughout my years in medicine, the most effective remedies are often the simplest ones. One wish I had known about the full spectrum of its benefits earlier in my practice, because for many of the patients I treated, it would have been a safer, more natural alternative to the prescriptions they were taking. It's fascinating how we, as a society, often overlook such remedies, choosing instead to focus on complex, expensive solutions that come with a long list of side effects. But let me tell you this, baking soda is not just a versatile cleaning agent. It's a gift from nature that can do wonders for your health, particularly when consumed at night. Let me take you through some of the most powerful benefits that drinking baking soda water before bed can provide. First and foremost, one of the most common and distressing health issues that I encountered in my practice was acid reflux, particularly at night. I can't tell you how many patients came to me, describing that painful burn creeping up their chest as they tried to sleep. It's a feeling of discomfort that can haunt you, making it nearly impossible to rest. We often think of acid reflux as a minor inconvenience, but over time, untreated, it can lead to serious complications. Now, this is where baking soda truly shines. When ingested, baking soda's alkalinity neutralizes excess stomach acid, providing immediate relief. In my experience, it works quickly, almost like a breath of fresh air for someone who's been trapped in the burning discomfort of acid reflux. Studies have supported this, showing that bicarbonate-rich mineral water can significantly reduce heartburn symptoms. But this is only the beginning of what baking soda can do for us. Let's talk about muscle soreness. For many people, especially those who lead active lifestyles or exercise intensely, muscle pain can be a daily struggle. After years of recommending all kinds of treatments to soothe sore muscles, from anti-inflammatory medications to physical therapy, it wasn't until I discovered baking soda's role in muscle recovery that I realized the simplicity of this solution. After exercise, your muscles are flooded with hydrogen ions, which lower the pH in your muscles, making the environment acidic. This acid buildup is what leads to that familiar ache the next day. Baking soda, however, acts as a buffering agent, helping to neutralize that acidity. It's incredible how something so simple can help with something so debilitating. Research has shown that drinking baking soda water can improve muscle recovery by balancing the body's acid-base levels, allowing muscles to repair themselves faster and more efficiently. But we're not just talking about digestive or muscular issues. Baking soda also plays a vital role in supporting kidney function, particularly when it comes to chronic kidney disease (CKD). This was an area where I saw many patients suffering over the years. In CKD, the kidneys fail to properly balance the body's acid-base levels, leading to a condition called metabolic acidosis. This imbalance can worsen kidney function, accelerating the disease's progression. However, I found that sodium bicarbonate, when used properly, can help correct this imbalance. It's like offering the kidneys a lifeline, stabilizing the body's internal environment and slowing down the decline of kidney function. A 2021 study I came across confirmed this, showing that sodium bicarbonate supplementation could improve kidney function and reduce the progression of CKD. For many of my patients dealing with kidney issues, this simple remedy was a far better option than the expensive medications they were being prescribed. One of the most heart-wrenching conditions I witnessed in my career was gout, particularly because it would often strike in the middle of the night, leaving patients writhing in pain. I can still remember the anguished faces of patients who would show up in there with swollen, inflamed joints, usually the big toe so painful they could hardly walk. Gout is caused by uric acid crystals accumulating in the joints, creating intense pain and inflammation. I spent years treating it with medications that provided some relief, but I always wondered if there was a more natural solution. Enter baking soda. It helps alkalize the urine, making it more difficult for uric acid to form crystals. By doing so, it not only relieves pain, but also helps prevent future flare-ups. I read a 2020 study that combines sodium bicarbonate with a medication designed to increase uric acid excretion, and it showed promising results, with patients experiencing fewer uric acid deposits and better kidney function. It was a revelation to me, a natural remedy that worked just as well, if not better, than the expensive drugs on the market. Then there's the issue of balancing the body's pH. In my years of practice, I often saw patients struggling with conditions linked to an acidic internal environment, things like fatigue, poor digestion, and even inflammation. Our bodies are constantly fighting to maintain the delicate balance of pH, and when we're under stress or eating an acidic diet, that balance is often disturbed. Baking soda helps the body restore that balance, bringing the pH levels back to a more alkaline state, which is essential for optimal cellular function. It's a subtle but powerful change that can lead to improvements in energy, mood, and overall health. I remember recommending this to a patient of mine who had been dealing with constant fatigue and poor digestion. After incorporating baking soda water into her nightly routine, she noticed a dramatic improvement. She was sleeping better, her digestion improved, and she finally felt like she had more energy. Finally, when it comes to combating diseases like cancer and rheumatoid arthritis, the healing potential of baking soda continues to amaze me. While these conditions are often seen as insurmountable, research suggests that baking soda might play a role in reducing tumor acidity and promoting an anti-inflammatory environment in the body. I've read studies where patients dealing with chemotherapy-resistant cancers experienced reductions in tumor markers after using baking soda treatments. It's still an area that requires more research, but the possibilities are exciting. As a retired doctor, it's been a privilege to uncover these insights and share them with others. Baking soda is more than just a household item, it's a powerful tool in the fight for better health. I encourage you to consider it as part of your wellness routine, especially at night when your body is naturally in repair mode. It's simple, effective, and, as I've seen time and again, it works. As a retired doctor with decades of experience, I've come to realize that the most effective remedies often come from the simplest of sources. During my long career, I prescribed countless medications, but it's always the natural, simple solutions that I find the most effective, and one of the most powerful, yet often overlooked, remedies I came across was baking soda. But as with any remedy, there's a right way to use it. And that's what I want to share with you today. The right way to incorporate baking soda water into your nightly routine for optimal health benefits. When you first hear about baking soda, you might think of it as something purely for baking or cleaning, but this small, unassuming powder holds far more potential than most people realize. If used properly, baking soda can be an invaluable ally in your health journey. It's not a cure-all, but when used the right way, it can help you with issues like acid reflux, muscle soreness, kidney function, and even improve the pH balance of your body. Now, let me explain how to use it correctly. Over the years, I've seen countless patients who had heard about the benefits of baking soda water but didn't fully understand how to use it. Some people would simply dump a spoonful of baking soda into a glass of water without much thought. Others might try using it too frequently, believing that the more they used it, the better the results. But just as with any remedy or treatment, timing, dosage, and consistency are crucial for success. It's not about overdoing it, it's about using it correctly to give your body the support it needs without causing any harm. The first thing I always tell people is to use baking soda water at night, and here's why. At night, your body is naturally engaged in a process of repair and regeneration. This is when your cells, tissues, and organs are working overtime to heal and restore themselves. Drinking baking soda water before bed allows your body to benefit from its properties during this critical time. It's a quiet, restorative time for your body, and by using baking soda, you're supporting these natural healing processes. I recommend drinking baking soda water about 1 to 2 hours after your last meal, before you settle down for the night. This allows your stomach to settle and prepares your body for a peaceful, restorative sleep. If you drink it too close to your meal or immediately before bed, it could cause some discomfort in your stomach. Timing is everything, and by giving your body that small window of time after eating, you allow the baking soda to work its magic without disturbing your digestion. When it comes to the actual preparation, it's incredibly simple. I always tell my patients that the key is moderation. You don't need a lot to see benefits. Dissolve half a teaspoon of baking soda, about 2.5 grams, in a glass of cold or room temperature water, roughly 6 to 8 ounces. Stir it well until it's completely dissolved, and then sip it slowly. Don't gulp it down quickly, as you want your stomach to absorb it gradually, without becoming overly distended. This is important because drinking it too quickly or in large amounts can cause discomfort, bloating, or even lead to issues like metabolic alkalosis, which is a condition where your blood becomes too alkaline. As someone who has spent years in the field of medicine, I can tell you that balance is key. Too little may not have the desired effect, but too much can cause harm. And while it may seem like a small amount, I assure you that even this modest dosage can make a significant difference in your health over time. Now, I understand that many of you may be wondering, how long will it take before I notice results? This is a valid concern, and it's one I often heard from my patients over the years. I always tell them that consistency is crucial. If you're using baking soda water to help with something like acid reflux or muscle soreness, you may notice relief after just a few days of consistent use. However, for chronic conditions like kidney function support or balancing your body's pH, it may take a few weeks of regular use before you start to feel a noticeable difference. The key is to be patient. Healing is a process, and while baking soda can offer fast relief in some cases, it works best when used over time. I've always encouraged my patients to give it at least 2 weeks of consistent, alternate night use to begin noticing subtle changes. For more immediate benefits, like helping with digestion or soothing mild acid reflux, you might feel better within a few days. But let me stress this: while baking soda is incredibly helpful, it's important not to rely on it as a daily, long-term solution without medical supervision. Too much sodium can lead to imbalances in your body, and for individuals with high blood pressure or heart conditions, excessive use of baking soda could pose risks. That's why I always advise my patients to check with their healthcare provider before incorporating baking soda into their routine, especially if they have underlying health conditions. You may be wondering, why is it so important to use it correctly and at the right time? The answer lies in how your body functions. At night, your body is naturally in repair mode, so by introducing baking soda water at this time, you're allowing it to support your body's own restorative processes. The idea is to give your body the best chance to absorb the minerals and neutralize excess acids without disrupting its natural healing cycle. While baking soda water is an excellent tool in your health regimen, it's not a substitute for a healthy lifestyle. It's not going to undo the effects of a poor diet, lack of sleep, or chronic stress. It's a complementary remedy, one that works best when you're already taking care of your body through good habits and proper self-care. I've seen firsthand how people's lives can be transformed simply by making small adjustments to their health routines. And I truly believe that incorporating baking soda water into your nightly routine is one of the simplest and most effective changes you can make. When used properly, it supports your body in so many ways, from digestive health to kidney function, from soothing sore muscles to balancing your pH levels. It's a small step that can lead to profound changes in your health over time. So, as you think about how to use baking soda water at night, remember, moderation, consistency, and patience are your allies. Don't rush the process. Allow your body the time it needs to respond, and in return, you'll see the benefits unfold before you. Just like I've seen with so many of my patients over the years, baking soda water, when used the right way, can be a powerful tool in your health journey, simple, effective, and within your reach. And remember, just like any treatment, it's always wise to listen to your body. If you experience any discomfort or notice any adverse effects, stop using it and consult with your healthcare provider. Your health is the most valuable thing you have, and it deserves to be treated with the utmost care and respect. As a retired doctor, I've always taken the time to carefully assess the unique needs of each patient. Over the years, I've learned that no treatment or remedy is universal, and what works for one person may not be suitable for another. When it comes to something as simple and accessible as baking soda, it's easy to assume that it's harmless after all. It's a natural substance that many of us have in our kitchens. However, just because something is natural doesn't mean it's always the right choice for everyone. As much as I have seen the remarkable benefits of baking soda water, I also know that, like any remedy, it isn't without its risks for certain individuals. That's what I want to talk to you about today: who should avoid baking soda water and why. For the majority of people, using baking soda water before bed can be a simple and effective way to support digestive health, relieve muscle soreness, and even help with sleep. But as I learned through decades of practice, it's critical to recognize that not all bodies are the same. There are certain individuals who should exercise caution, and some who may need to avoid it entirely. Let's start with the most obvious group: those with high blood pressure. If you've ever been diagnosed with hypertension, you know how crucial it is to manage your sodium intake. Sodium can cause your body to retain fluid, which in turn can raise your blood pressure. Baking soda is essentially sodium bicarbonate, and while it's incredibly effective in neutralizing stomach acid and balancing pH, its high sodium content makes it a poor choice for individuals with high blood pressure. During my career, I saw many patients who were dealing with the long-term consequences of untreated high blood pressure conditions like heart disease, kidney failure, and stroke. These are serious risks that arise from consistently high sodium levels in the body. That's why, in my professional opinion, if you suffer from high blood pressure, you should approach baking soda water with extreme caution. Even small doses could elevate your blood pressure, potentially undoing the efforts you've made to keep it in check. If you have hypertension, it's vital to consult your doctor before adding baking soda to your routine, as it could interfere with the medications you may be taking to manage your condition. This leads me to the next group: people with heart conditions, especially those with congestive heart failure (CHF). Those living with CHF already have a heart that is struggling to pump blood efficiently, and the added strain from sodium intake can exacerbate their symptoms. In patients with heart conditions, excessive sodium can lead to fluid buildup, which may worsen heart failure symptoms. In my years of treating patients with CHF, I've seen how even minor changes in diet or medication can have a profound effect on their well-being. Adding a sodium-rich substance like baking soda to their daily routine could lead to increased swelling, shortness of breath, and fatigue, symptoms that are already challenging enough for those managing heart disease. For anyone with a heart condition, the use of baking soda water should be discussed with a healthcare provider, as it could complicate your treatment plan and overall health. Another group that should be cautious with baking soda water are pregnant women. Pregnancy is a delicate time for both mother and child, and the body's chemical balance is more sensitive than usual. Baking soda's ability to influence the body's pH balance is one of its most powerful properties, but for pregnant women, that same power can be risky. The extra sodium in baking soda can contribute to fluid retention, which is already a common issue during pregnancy. Fluid retention could lead to increased blood pressure and swelling in the legs and feet, both of which are concerning during pregnancy. Furthermore, the changes in pH levels can potentially affect the baby's development, especially in the first trimester when organ development is most critical. I always advised my pregnant patients to be cautious about adding any new substance to their diet, and baking soda was no exception. If you are pregnant, it's best to err on the side of caution and consult your doctor before using baking soda water as a remedy. Moving on to another important group: people with kidney disease, particularly those with chronic kidney disease (CKD). The kidneys are responsible for filtering excess substances from the blood, including sodium. In patients with CKD, the kidneys are already compromised and cannot filter out excess sodium as efficiently. This can lead to dangerous levels of sodium in the body, contributing to fluid retention, swelling, and an increased burden on the kidneys. I have had many patients with CKD who were concerned about their sodium intake, and rightly so. Sodium retention can hasten kidney damage, and consuming baking soda may aggravate that process. In CKD patients, maintaining a delicate balance of electrolytes and fluids is essential, and introducing too much sodium, especially without proper monitoring, could worsen kidney function. If you have kidney disease, especially in its more advanced stages, it's crucial to seek medical advice before using baking soda water. People who suffer from gastrointestinal issues such as gas, bloating, or acid reflux should also approach baking soda water with caution. While baking soda is excellent at neutralizing stomach acid and soothing acid reflux in many individuals, it can sometimes lead to increased gas production or bloating, particularly in those who are prone to gastrointestinal discomfort. The reaction between baking soda and stomach acid produces carbon dioxide, which can lead to bloating or a feeling of fullness in the stomach. For some individuals with sensitive digestive systems, this can be uncomfortable, especially when consumed in larger quantities. Additionally, while baking soda may provide temporary relief for acid reflux, it is not a long-term solution for chronic G issues. If you suffer from frequent bloating, indigestion, or other G problems, it's important to consider whether baking soda is the best remedy for you or if other treatments might be more effective. Lastly, I want to address the issue of electrolyte imbalances. Sodium plays a vital role in maintaining the balance of fluids and electrolytes in the body, but too much sodium can upset that balance, leading to issues like muscle cramps, fatigue, or even confusion. People who are prone to dehydration or those who are taking diuretics medications that promote urine production should be especially cautious when using baking soda. Diuretics can already cause a decrease in sodium levels, and adding more sodium through baking soda could result in an electrolyte imbalance. This imbalance can affect muscle function, heart rhythm, and overall well-being. If you're taking diuretics or are at risk of dehydration, you should avoid using baking soda water without consulting your healthcare provider. In conclusion, while baking soda is an incredibly useful and powerful remedy for many people, it's not for everyone. Those with high blood pressure, heart conditions, kidney disease, pregnancy, gastrointestinal issues, or a history of electrolyte imbalances should think carefully before incorporating it into their routine. As with any health-related decision, the key is moderation, and the importance of consulting a healthcare provider cannot be overstated. The last thing I would want is for someone to experience harm from a remedy that should be helpful. Always listen to your body, and when in doubt, seek professional advice before making any changes to your health regimen. Baking soda can be a powerful ally in maintaining and restoring health, but only when used wisely and with a clear understanding of your own unique needs and limitations. Your health is too important to risk, and it's always best to approach any remedy with caution, especially when it comes to something as simple, yet potent, as baking soda. As a doctor who has spent most of his life in the field of medicine, I've come to realize something very simple. The most profound and effective solutions are often the ones we overlook. Over the years, I've prescribed countless medications, recommended numerous treatments, and seen patients struggle with the weight of their illnesses. But I've also witnessed something else, something more powerful than all of the latest pharmaceutical advancements, the simplicity of natural remedies. I've always been fascinated by the healing power of nature, and one remedy in particular stands out for its simplicity and effectiveness: baking soda. When I first encountered the potential of baking soda in my practice, I was taken aback by how something so ordinary, so common, could be so extraordinary in its ability to heal. For years, I had been prescribing expensive treatments, encouraging patients to rely on complex medications, never realizing that a simple, natural compound found in most kitchens could offer them the same relief, often without the side effects and the financial burden. As I reflect on my career, I now understand that the answers to many of the most common health issues aren't hidden in the most expensive treatments, but rather in the simplest, most accessible remedies. Over the years, I've seen how natural remedies like baking soda have had a profound impact on the health of so many people, my own patients included. Whether it was for relieving acid reflux, helping with muscle soreness, supporting kidney function, or balancing the body's pH, I've seen how this simple substance has provided relief and comfort to those who have struggled with chronic ailments. I've seen firsthand how the body responds to such remedies, not through immediate, dramatic changes, but through gradual, subtle improvements. There's a beauty in this quiet, natural healing that doesn't demand attention, but works its magic in the background. When I look back, I realize that many of the best remedies don't come with grand claims or promises. They don't come with shiny packaging or flashy advertisements. They come from nature, in forms we've known for centuries, yet have somehow forgotten along the way. And this is why, in my retirement, I feel an overwhelming need to share the wisdom I've gained throughout my career with others. I want to remind people that we don't always need the latest drug or the most expensive treatment to feel better. Sometimes the simplest remedies are the ones that work best, and they've been sitting right in front of us all along. But it's not just about using baking soda or any other single remedy. It's about embracing the idea that health doesn't have to be complicated. As a doctor, I've seen the overwhelming pressure to constantly search for quick fixes and instant results. The medical world often tells us that the only path to healing is through expensive interventions, procedures, or medications. But in my experience, many of the most effective health solutions come from a simpler, more balanced approach. They come from understanding the body's natural rhythms and working in harmony with them. They come from listening to our bodies, understanding what they need, and providing them with the simplest tools to heal themselves. I've always believed that true healing comes from within. The body is a remarkable machine, capable of incredible recovery and self-regulation when given the right tools. Natural remedies like baking soda water are just one example of how we can help support our body's natural healing processes. They don't work miracles overnight, but over time, they help the body return to balance and function more effectively. When used correctly, they can be a valuable addition to our overall health regimen, helping to address common health concerns and providing relief from chronic issues without the risks that often come with more invasive treatments. Of course, there is no one-size-fits-all solution. Every person's body is unique, and every condition is different. This is something I learned early on in my career, and it's a lesson that stayed with me throughout the years. Not every remedy will work for every person, and that's why it's so important to listen to your body, understand what it's telling you, and be open to trying new approaches when necessary. Natural remedies, while powerful, should never replace professional medical advice. If you have a serious condition or a health concern, it's always best to consult with a healthcare provider who understands your unique needs and can guide you toward the right treatment. As I reflect on my years in practice, I also realize that healing isn't just about physical health, it's about mental and emotional well-being as well. When we feel better physically, it has a profound effect on our emotional state and mental clarity. In my experience, many of the chronic ailments I treated were compounded by stress, anxiety, and a lack of self-care. The power of simple, natural remedies like baking soda is not just in their physical benefits, but in the peace of mind they provide. They remind us that we don't have to rely on complicated, expensive treatments to feel good. There is comfort in knowing that the answers to many of our health issues are within our reach, often found in the simplest of solutions. I also understand the importance of living with intention, of creating a routine that supports both our physical and emotional well-being. A simple remedy like baking soda water can be part of a larger, holistic approach to health. It's not a magic bullet, but it's a step in the right direction and acknowledgement that we can take charge of our health with small, mindful actions. It's a reminder that healing doesn't have to be complicated, and that sometimes the simplest solutions can lead to the most profound transformations. As you consider incorporating natural remedies into your life, I encourage you to do so with an open heart and mind. Don't be afraid to trust in the power of simplicity. After all, the best things in life are often the most uncomplicated. And while I may no longer be practicing medicine in the same way I once did, I continue to be inspired by the natural world and the many ways it supports our health. I hope that, through this journey, you'll come to embrace the idea that simple, natural remedies can be a powerful ally in your pursuit of better health. True healing comes from within, and with a little guidance, patience, and trust in nature's wisdom, I believe that each of us has the ability to find balance and restore health in ways we may have never imagined. So, embrace the simple remedies, listen to your body, and remember that sometimes the answers to our greatest health challenges are already right in front of us. As I reflect on the years I've spent as a doctor, I find myself thinking more and more about the simple truths that I often overlooked in my early years of practice. We live in a world that constantly demands more treatments, more advanced technology, more solutions to our health issues. And while these advancements have undoubtedly helped countless people, they've also led us to forget something important, that many of the best remedies for our health are not complicated, but simple, natural solutions that have been available to us for centuries. The idea of using something as humble as baking soda to improve our health is a perfect example of this. For so many years, I spent my time recommending expensive medications and complex treatments to my patients, believing that the more advanced the treatment, the better the outcome. But over time, I realized that often the most effective remedies are the simplest. Baking soda, for example, is something we all have in our kitchens, yet its potential to support our health is immense. It can ease digestive discomfort, help with muscle recovery, improve kidney function, and even balance the body's pH levels. The power of such a simple substance is a reminder that we don't always need to look for a complicated solution to every problem. Sometimes, the best solutions are the ones right in front of us. The deeper lesson here is about the power of simplicity. In our fast-paced, ever-changing world, it's easy to get caught up in the latest trends and miracle cures. We're often told that in order to be healthy, we need the most advanced, high-tech solutions, and we forget that nature has provided us with simple tools that can make a profound difference in our lives. We live in an age where information is abundant, but sometimes the simplest pieces of advice are the most valuable. And yet, we overlook them in our search for something more complex. Incorporating simple, natural remedies into our daily lives is a powerful way to take control of our health. It's not about replacing modern medicine or ignoring scientific advancements. It's about recognizing that nature, in its wisdom, offers us tools that can complement modern treatments and, in some cases, provide us with the relief and healing we need. Baking soda, when used correctly, is one such tool, a reminder that the body has the capacity to heal itself if we support it with the right ingredients and habits. The real lesson, however, is not just about using baking soda or any other single remedy. It's about embracing a mindset that values simplicity, mindfulness, and balance. In a world that often feels overwhelming and fast-paced, it's essential to slow down and recognize that taking care of our health doesn't always require a complex solution. Sometimes, it's about making small, thoughtful changes in our daily routines, like drinking a glass of water with baking soda before bed, that can have a big impact on our overall well-being. This is a lesson that I encourage all of you to carry with you in your own health journey. In a world that constantly tells us to do more, buy more, and consume more, I challenge you to focus on the simple things that can make a real difference. Take a step back and reflect on the remedies that have been around for centuries. Be mindful of what your body needs and listen to it. Trust in the wisdom of natural solutions, and don't be afraid to embrace the simplicity that nature offers. So, as you consider incorporating simple remedies into your life, ask yourself, what can you do today to take a step toward better health? What small changes can you make to support your body's natural healing process? Whether it's using baking soda water to soothe your digestive system, improve your muscle recovery, or balance your body's pH, remember that simplicity can be just as effective as complexity. I'd love to hear your thoughts on this approach to health. Do you believe that simple, natural remedies like baking soda can make a difference? Have you ever tried using baking soda for health purposes? Please take a moment to share your opinion in the comments below. I'd love to hear from you. Your feedback helps us build a stronger community and share valuable insights with one another. If you found this content useful, I kindly ask you to subscribe to the channel and consider donating to support the creation of more helpful videos like this one. Even a small contribution can go a long way in motivating me to continue creating content that can help make a real difference in people's lives. As a retired doctor, I still feel the need to contribute to society, and your support, whether big or small, would be a tremendous encouragement to keep sharing this knowledge with all of you. Thank you for your time and for being part of this journey toward better health. Let's continue to explore the power of simple, natural remedies together.